Alright, it's been a long since we got to see a Final Destination movie, and I'm glad that they have finally decided to add a new movie in the franchise. I really enjoyed every second of it. The storytelling and VFX were satisfying enough to watch, and I would say that these Final Destination movies are more like Conjuring movies. When the Conjuring series make you feel afraid of the dark, Final Destination movies make you feel afraid of the reality. The movie is out in the theater right now, and if you wanna get the best experience from this movie, savoring every single moment, you should go and watch it on the big screen. That being said, let's break it down in the simplest language possible so that you can understand what you can expect from this movie. The story begins with Iris going to the Skyview Tower with her boyfriend to celebrate their engagement. Not gonna lie, I just found out my new crush until a new movie comes out and I find someone else. While they were getting into the lift, the door gets stuck for a second. This is such a huge commercial building and the engineers don't give a damn about a smooth lift service? What the hell? Anyways, they get to the top floor. When this man was enjoying every bit of the moment, Iris deep inside was thinking something. Everything slowly began to look like a nightmare to her. The girl still tries to comfort her fiancé. Suddenly, she feels a bit nausea and while finding the restroom, you can get to see a small piece of the chandelier falling onto the glass floor causing a crack. Yeah, a disaster was about to happen. The band singer asks Iris either she is alright or not. After hesitating a bit, she tells the woman that she has been pregnant for 2 months. The woman congratulates her and tells her to not worry about it. And then Iris goes to her boyfriend. They get to the top of the tower. A woman's hat suddenly blows away due to the gushing wind and Iris gets panicked. She can see something that no one else can see. This is when she gets proposed by her boyfriend. Alright, that was one good news. The man gets to find out that Iris is pregnant, but he is happy to hear that. Do men like this really exist in today's demoralized culture? A boy throws a coin in the sky for a stupid experiment and it gets back into the ventilation section, stopping a fan from moving. While they were dancing, the screws also decided to jump out of excitement. That coin gets shot into a gas pipe causing a leak. This is when the glass breaks and 7 people fall down. Unfortunately, she also loses her husband over there. Alright, now that she is single, ready to mingle, I guess I stand a chance right now, eh? A woman at first gets set on fire and then she sets the entire building on fire. Due to the exceeded number of people inside, the elevator shaft breaks down. This Japanese woman literally got to see her death with her own eyes. A coin falls onto the piano causing the lid to close down and boom, instant death. The boy who began all of these things dies within a moment after that. This is the kind of karma I like to appreciate. Iris is now hanging on the edge with a small boy by her wedding ring. This is a peak level of cinematic shot. Unfortunately, she couldn't manage to survive. Now relax, it was all just a dream. This is Stephanie Reyes. Her professor tells her to take some rest and come back when she feels okay. She has been watching with the same dream with the same girl going through the exact same event since the last 2 months. Her classmate has got sick of her. She tells Stephanie to go home and take some rest. She goes home to see her dad, Marty Reyes. She tells her father that she has been looking for the address of her grandmother who is also named as Iris. But the man feels hesitant to hear that question. This is Charlie, her younger brother. She begins insisting to go with her brother to their cousin's home because that's where the address of her grandmother can be found. In the vehicle, she tells Charlie that she has been discharged from the university for a while until she gets well enough. This is Erik, Stephanie's cousin. This is Bob, another cousin. This is Julia, another cousin. This girl has got more cousins than the number of notches I have in my belt. She finds her aunt in the kitchen. This is Howard, her uncle. She tells them everything about her dreams. She then gets to find out that her grandmother Iris decided to isolate herself ever since she lost her husband. She used to send pictures of dead bodies and disturbing accidents drawn with her own hands to this family every single month. She behaves like a psycho nowadays and the man tells Stephanie to stay the hell away from her grandmother. She doesn't give up and convinces her aunt into giving her the address of her grandmother. She doesn't waste a single moment. While talking to her granny on the sitcom device, she tells Stephanie to put her mobile phone, watches, keys, and everything metallic into the letterbox before getting into the room. Anyways, is that a swimming pool? What the hell? When asked about her mom, Darlene, she tells Iris that her mom left the family ever since she was 10 years old. Stephanie then changes the topic and tells her everything about the Skyview nightmare. She then tells Stephanie exactly what happened that day. Back to the story, when she saw her death coming, she at first takes the penny off that punk kid, covers the fire, and tells everyone to get off the glass floor. That tower was never open for tourism ever again. Unfortunately, all the people in that building died anyways over the span of years in Final Destination style. And the casualty also included her husband. She is now a cancer patient. She tells Stephanie that when the universe speaks, you better pay attention to it. She shows a research archive which Stephanie can use to figure out how to anticipate death to save her own family. She gets freaked out and runs from the house. Anticipating her inevitable death, she steps out of the home and forcefully gives the archive to her grandchild. And before she dies, she tells Stephanie, seeing is believing, and boom. In the funeral, Darlene also comes to join them. Stephanie is still angry with her mother for leaving them at the age of 10. Charlie tries to stop Stephanie, but she snaps back at her brother. Charlie then complains that his sister is no different from their mother. Both are negligent. He says that he had been feeling lonely for months, but Stephanie was too busy to spend time with her brother. This boy looks like a Japanese version of this actor, by the way. The next day, when she was writing an email to her professor, she begins to feel uneasy. In the backyard party, Bob breaks a glass and a small piece gets mixed with the ice. Shit. Darlene has made cookies for her son, but unfortunately, it had peanut butter in it, which his cousin Bob is extremely allergic to. After a while, Howard gives a speech about the importance of family. Julia drinks a glass of lime and begins to feel uneasy. She throws the lime water, saying that there might be a bug in it. Stephanie was looking over the archive. Howard gives the key to Darlene's home, saying that she can still come back. Marty was about to drink his lemonade, which had that small piece of glass in it, but he doesn't. When the trampoline was about to get shredded, Darlene notices a hand cultivator right beneath that thing. She stops the disaster from happening. Unfortunately, this auntie drops the beer and it activates the lawnmower. The glass falls on the ground with the broken piece exposed and boom. Within a few seconds, the man gets to meet Jesus without appointment. There goes another funeral. Stephanie begins her investigation again. She finds a mysterious man named JB who has been claimed to protect himself from his supposed death. She connects the dots. At night, she explains to her entire family that Iris was cursed to die, and anyone coming out from her bloodline was supposed to die as well. She explains how her grandmother managed to save hundreds of people from literal deaths with her own vision. That woman was basically Madam Web with a few extra brain cells. She tells everyone that Erik will be the next victim, and then Julia, and then Bob. After that, it will be Stephanie herself, and then Charlie in the end. Do you think anyone was buying that theory? Absolutely not. I guess I have seen her before. Where did I see her? There you go. Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Agent Laswell. Erik was doing a piercing of his client, and after a while, he gets a text message from Stephanie. He is pissed ever since he lost his dad. He turns on a sad music and begins to tattoo his father on his hand. Suddenly, a jar breaks onto the ground. A can of disinfectant begins spilling away. A chain gets stuck in his nose piercing. He tries to free himself and accidentally sets the entire place on fire. There goes off one person from the list. Stephanie next day wakes up Charlie saying that Erik didn't come back home last night. They drive to Erik's home and bump onto him. Dude is still alive. His leather jacket actually saved his life. He shows the tattoo he made in memory of his father. He dodges his death one more time. He begins to make fun of Stephanie, calling her a freak just like their grandmother. This is when Julia gets dunked into the garbage truck. They follow the truck and try to stop it, but my man was too chill to worry about anything. Within a minute, the girl gets turned into a confetti. Now they're getting to understand exactly what's been happening up there. Darlene hints at a man named JB who managed to cheat his death back in the past. If they can manage to find out JB, they may get a solution to this curse. They all get in the van. During the drive, Darlene reveals that she left Charlie and Stephanie because she was traumatized growing up under the care of Iris. Iris traumatized her so much that she became too toxic to be a good mother, so she decided to isolate herself from everyone else. All of them get to the hospital where they eventually get to meet JB in the autopsy room. The man, the myth, the legend, William Bloodworth, aka JB. This man surprisingly knows that Erik and Bob are the next victims. He was this kid in the Skyview Hotel who got his life saved at last because of Iris. Later on, their paths crossed again and they both became close friends. He used to help Iris with her cancer treatment. He also reveals that there are only two ways you can dodge your death. First, you can get someone else killed, which will buy you some time. Second, if you face a near-death experience and survive, your curse will get lifted. The man then walks away saying that he wants to enjoy the little time he has got before his death. Dude just came in and vanished faster than my motivation after opening a spreadsheet. Erik is now trying to convince Bob to take a peanut cupcake to get allergic so that he can be saved from a near-death experience. And this might break the curse. Accidentally, the ER machine gets activated following the door smash. He comes back with a wheelchair and forces Bob to eat the cake. Bob begins to feel uneasy. Allergic reaction has begun to strike him. Erik Erik's phone gets sucked into the ear machine, and then his piercing. Ooh, what is that? By the way, ear machines will never have that kind of magnetic power. This demonstration was pure bullshit. Anyways, Erik dies eventually. Bob manages to save himself taking the dose of epinephrine. Unfortunately, he couldn't survive in the end because death always finds its way, just like Uncle Sam finds out how much you owe them. Three of them decide to leave the city and get to the home of Iris. Stephanie breaks into her granny's home. She succeeds, but her seatbelt has been locked. Suddenly, a gas leak sets the house on fire. The van gets flipped into that puddle. Darlene manages to save Charlie, but she dies within a moment. Oh man, these people are dying in the movie like mosquitoes. Charlie wastes no time and goes to save his sister by cutting the seatbelt. They think that they have finally broken the curse as Stephanie has been saved from a near-death experience. A few days later, everything seems to be fine until one moment, Stephanie sees a sign of something dangerous happening to her life again. When a woman was buying an ice cream using a penny, it drops on the ground and accidentally changes the direction of the rail track. Shit. Stephanie meets a new neighbor who is a doctor. When the man gets to hear about everything that happened to her underwater, he tells Stephanie that she was not dead. She was in the stage of cerebral hypoxia. Wow, wonderful. That means the life is toast. This is when a local train derails and breaks into the neighborhood, eventually killing both siblings. Death always finds its way, just like Uncle Sam knows how much you owe them. The ending of this movie kinda disappointed me, but overall, it was a good movie, I would say.